Yet, Alexis Davis has been digging into Esme's past and background. Alexis finds something about Esme's adoptive parents having died suddenly in the past. It's a pity that Esme may have been the one to do it, and surely Esme must pay for this crime even though it is in the past. The current Esme also doesn't know the detail of her own past. So Esme went to see Heather Weber. Esme does not want many people to know about this. That's why Esme has sneaky action. Alyssa suspected Esme of feigning amnesia because Esme had gone on a silent trip and Alyssa was curious who Esme wanted to meet. For now, as I said, Esme is quite honest and has the mindset of a normal teenage girl. Esme is no longer as cruel as in the past. But Esme's ruthlessness has been inherited and is ingrained in Esme's blood. With both her biological father and mother being villains, it was certain that her genes had a big influence on Esme. Fans know that Esme's father is a serial killer named Ryan Chamland. Although Ryan can no longer pose a danger to anyone, every time Ryan's name is mentioned, perhaps too many people still feel shiver. Esme's biological mother is just as cruel as Ryan, so even if Esme tries to be a good person, it's pointless. Current Esme is an ordinary girl, and that is only temporary. At some point, Esme's old nature will surely explode. Ulysses could be the one who will cause Esme to explode with rage and Esme to return to her old self. Ulysses will prove that Esme is the one who killed her adoptive parents. Although Esme is now amnesiac, Esme's background needs to be made public and Esme must be held accountable. When the tension is at its peak, Esme may suddenly remember it all and get ready to attack Ulysses. Esme will probably admit the whole truth, and that includes assaulting Nanny Maggie Fitzgerald. Which means that before Esme came to town and decided to live there, there was probably a clash between Maggie and Esme. After that period of time, Maggie can choose to forgive and continue to convince Esme to be a good person. But Esme didn't heed Maggie's advice and made things worse. Because of that, Maggie has never set foot in town to visit Esme, even though she knows that Maggie has been through many things in her life. There is another secret involving Esme. Perhaps the other siblings of Esme's adoptive parents are haunting Esme. Meaning they wanted to avenge their parents and Esme went to the town to hide. Maggie did not contact Esme and did not come to Esme to avoid the truth from being reviewed. In the near future, Alexis will investigate a lot of issues related to Esme's past. That evidence makes Esme likely to spend life in prison and not be pardoned. Esme will try to silence Alexis by attacking Alexis and hiding Alexis' body somewhere. For Esme, committing one more crime is not so important, and Esme is willing to do everything to cover up the truth.